Welcome to Reddit Story's first ever video, covering up the infamous "Today I effed up," where OP somewhat loses his virginity to a water slide. Yes, this sounds completely made up, but it honestly is a pretty accurate statement of what goes on. Let's get into this. Our first story comes from user ceeashi with the title, "Today I fucked up by creating the most terrifying and embarrassing moment in my life." I mean, this title sure is already creating some precedents, that is for sure. It is currently 1 AM. This happened about 20 minutes ago. I am currently bawling my eyes out from humiliation and shock. I will write out this event as if you were me. I will not include any details before I knew them though. It all started when I, female that's 23 years old, got home late from work. We had a meeting after the park was closed and didn't get home until 10 PM. I take a shower and smoke my dab pen while drying my hair. I then proceeded to forget the next hour. I feel like this is some foreshadowing for what's about to happen next, so I am excited. So my hair was dry as I was playing Red Dead Online. I had just got comfy when I hear my cat Winnie make a strange meow. My cat only meows like this when she sees something outside. It's like a low yowl and not a cute meow. I mean, I wonder what a low yowl sounds like. I pause the game and take my headphones off. She is meowing in the living room. She runs into the doorway to my bedroom and meows again. I follow her out into my living room, which is only lit by a nightlight. I see that my motion activated light is outside. Winnie is looking through the blinds and meows again and again. The light goes off and then comes back on. I call my roommate, male that's 26. He is at work and gets off in an hour. I am fried at this point and I am thinking that I'm just overreacting. Winnie meows louder and longer. Over and over, I'm freaking out and a shadow from my patio moves. A few seconds later, there is a knock on the door. I feel my heart in my ears. The heartbeats are really loud and everything is in slow motion. I'm staring at the door for what seems like about 30 seconds, but was probably only 2 or 3. I dart to my room, lock my door, and then was in my closet with a large knife. I don't remember if I got the knife before or after the knocking. I'm on the phone to police. My breath is shaky and raspy. I'm having memories and images of my family and friends rushing through my head. Then I think of my parents and how I need to call them, but I'm on the phone with 911 telling them info and location. I am literally mentally preparing to kill someone or die. The 911 dispatcher was silent. She said there were 2 officers close. Silence. I ask where they are. She tells me they are turning into my apartment. I wait the most painful 30 seconds of my life. It seriously felt like 10 minutes. And then I hear voices at my front door. I then hear the dispatcher's voice. She asks, "Did you order delivery?" So basically, too long didn't read. I forgot I ordered delivery and called the cops on my delivery driver for delivering my food. And then user, yeah whatever 23 comments, "If it makes you feel any better, I'm a 911 operator and I can tell you this happens all the time. I don't think a single night goes by without someone calling, thinking someone is breaking in, only to find out it was a neighbor or friend. Or my favorite, a glass jar of chocolate milk exploding." I'm not even gonna ask how a glass jar of chocolate milk can explode, but I'll just assume that it's just them over exaggerating. Because if not, I kinda wanna see how this happens now. This has really gotten my hopes up. Another user comments, "How much did you tip the delivery person?" And OP comments, "He left the food and dipped. I didn't see him." That honestly must suck for the delivery guy. Gets the cops called on him for doing nothing but his job, and he gets no tip. The next story comes from user Flying Coexister. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. With the title, "Today I f***ed up. I automated my job and then got caught." I mean, this sounds like this could be an opening scene to a prequel of I, Robot, but more or less about just office antics and robots taking over cubicles rather than taking over the world. This happened a few years ago. I was pretty efficient at my job and faster than my colleagues at getting reports done. We mostly wrote reports which had the same calculations and said very similar things. So I created a large database, linked it to Microsoft Excel, let Excel calculate everything for me, automate various sentences for me, and then export it to Microsoft Word. The end result? In only 2 hours, I could push out what took my colleagues 8 hours. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this. They always say to work smarter and not harder. Just make sure you don't get caught so you can spend more time browsing Reddit stories like these. I decided to work only 2.5 hours a day, spending the other 5 doing anything I wanted to. YouTube, day trading, reading up investments, or just looking at silly memes. It was awesome. One day, a colleague took a romantic interest in me, since I had nothing better to do and was single for a while, so I gave it an honest shot. Okay, let's stop this right here. This is the beginning to any bad stories. For the love of God, people, stop taking up office relationships. The relationship went fairly well. She was lovely, really smart, but like me, really lazy too. Except that didn't seem to bother that her work performance was close to the bottom of the pack. In order to both impress her and help her, I showed her what I do and how it could be used to speed up her work. She didn't seem to take an interest at the time. This is a perfect example of work smarter and not harder. Why wouldn't she want to work only 2.5 hours a day and spend the rest of the time doing whatever? Maybe even spend more time towards this office relationship and sending each other memes. I mean, if that's what you're into. After some time though, I broke up with her. We tried our best, but I wasn't feeling it as much as she was. And I felt it would be much better to end it sooner than later. She was already saying she loves me. I wasn't even close to using the word love. The breakup seemed somewhat peaceful. Famous last words for a man who would soon be writing a TIFU post. 2 days later, I got called in HR at work for a disciplinary hearing. To my horror, I was presented with screenshots of my activity of the previous days. Memes, trading activity, news reading, YouTube, and even a tally of how many hours I actually worked versus how much I wasted. I mean, I don't even get how this is a problem though. Because if you have an employee working at the same pace, but multiply that was able to finish it in a fraction compared to the other colleagues, I mean, what's the problem with that? Turns out my ex shared my screen via Microsoft Skype when I went on a smoke break, recorded all of my actions for the day, and then reported me to HR. So you're telling me you never told this girl that you loved her, but she knew your password to your computer? Shame. I should have actually worked my hours in, I shouldn't have tried to impress my ex, and I definitely should have noticed my screen was being shared. I mean, in the end, you should have just kept doing what you were doing with the computer, but the ultimate failure was just trying to impress the ex. Easy to say in clear hindsight though. User Mr. Alphonse comments, worked for a large information processor about 25 years ago. I did something similar. Our job was formatting data to comply with our online portal standards upload and then query the outliers. I could pretty much start at 8 AM and finish by 10 AM, then just f**k about for the rest of the day. The only problem was keeping the input plausible. One weekend, a colleague did Saturday overtime and accidentally did about 10 times what a single team could do, and the cat was out of the bag. I mean, honestly, that colleague probably didn't accidentally do it, but just wanted that shiny promotion. Probably though, just ended up in the same spot as before, except in more deep shit for being lazy all the other weekdays. User NFT God commented, rookie move. Never impress a new fling with their brazen rule breaking. When someone is still in the deciding if they like you phase, anything you show them can end up being used against you. I mean, he is completely right. I couldn't imagine all of the things that have backfired on people over the past thousands of years for showing their love interest their secret moves, except some can kind of work out. I bet whoever created the handstand just wanted to impress somebody of their interest. By showing off that standing is so easy, they can literally just do it on their hands. Leading up to now, when millions and millions of people can do it, especially little kids. Where does that leave me though? Never holding a handstand for more than 1 second in my life. Stupid handstands. Our final story of this video comes from the user Skylantech, titled, Today I f***ed up, losing my virginity to a water slide. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are strapped up for this ride because this is going to be a real doozy, it seems. So, do you guys know those water slides that you stand in and then they suddenly drop you straight down onto the water slide? If not, look them up on YouTube, there's nothing like them. I mean, since I'm curating this journey for you, this is what they look like. Look fun, right? I have always wanted to go on one of these as I'm a huge fan of water slides. I may not want to though after this story, I guess we'll just have to see. Yes, the sweet memories of my first time on one of these. I feel that my mental/emotional scars have healed enough to tell this gem. I hope we're headed into like a funny story and not something that will traumatize myself as well as you guys. At the time, my girlfriend, now fiance, worked as a photographer for one of those resorts with the indoor and outdoor water parks. One of her perks was that her and a family member or friend could get into the water park for free. So one hot summer day, she had off and we both decided it would be fun to go there and cool down for the day. While we were there, I discovered one of their most thrilling looking water slides. Basically, you stand in this tube and then the slide operator presses a button and the slide drops you straight down a good 90 feet before you actually start going down the water slide. Me, being a thrill seeker, of course had to try it. So I made the great climb up to the top of the slide, stood in line, and finally it was my turn. Once I got in the tube, the operator told me to keep my legs crossed. Now, I'm a pretty big, heavy guy, so I was like, that's uncomfortable as f***. I'm not doing that. So there, I was standing in the tube, having a panic attack from anticipation, with my legs not crossed. The operator finally presses the button, the bottom opens, and I fall straight down the water slide. Very quickly, I realized why they have you cross your legs. Water shot so far up my butt, so fast, I swear I tasted it in my mouth. My body raced down that slide as I questioned every life choice that I have ever made. Okay, this is starting to lead up to a traumatizing story that I may tell my kids in the future. Hopefully, as long as you cross your legs, you won't get this problem, but I'm honestly unsure whether I want to take that chance or not. Once I made it to the bottom, I sat there for a moment, absolutely violated. I felt like someone in an episode of Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I built up the courage to finally stand up, and all I could feel was a nice warm stream of water mixed with poop, and maybe a little bit of blood shoot out of my butt faster than a steamboat geyser at Yellowstone National Park. Oh my god, this is absolutely terrible. Is there a video? I quickly got off the slide and ran to the bathroom with a trail of poopy water tailing me as the slide operator stared in awe. They had to shut down the slide for the rest of the day. But man, was my butt clean after that. Moral of the story, keep your dang legs closed on water slides. And then too long didn't read. Went on a water slide that drops you straight down 90 feet. My butt was violated by the force of water as I got off the slide water. Poop and blood proceeded to shoot out of my butt, and they had to shut it down for the day. User Vertebrae Viking comments, tried one of those. The guy operating it told us to cross our legs or water will shoot up your ass so hard you can taste your own shit. I didn't dare do anything else than told because of the drop, and neither did anyone else. Good to have the claim confirmed, to which OP replies, yeah, I can absolutely confirm it. I'm going to make sure 1,000,000,000% that if I ever ride on one of these, I 1. Will listen to the lifeguard, and 2. Cross my darn legs. That is all folks for today's video of Reddit stories. Today I effed up. Make sure you subscribe as I will try to pump out as many videos as possible for you guys to enjoy. Thank you.